Okay, the hour has arrived, so I'm going to open the meeting. Welcome to the Town of Wakefield Board of Appeals meeting for Wednesday, October 9th. A reminder that the meeting is being recorded, will be available on the town's website the next couple of days. Going to start by taking a roll call. Dave Hatfield,
Here.
Chip Tarbell,
Here.
Joe Pride,
Here.
Mickey Feely,
Here.
Kasumi Humphries,
Yeah.
Kirsten Brown,
Here.
Greg Demersion.
Here.
My name's Tom Lucy. Obviously, I'm here. At this point, I'm going to ask our clerk to read the legal notice.
Sure thing. Consistent with the governor's orders extending certain provisions of the open meeting law, every effort will be made to allow the public to view and or listen to this meeting in real time. If you do not have a camera or microphone on your computer, you may use the following dial-in number 301-715-8592, meeting ID 82950068181, passcode 9300047. Please only use dial-in or computer, not both, as audio feedback will distort the meeting. This meeting will be audio and video recorded in compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act. This location is accessible to people with disabilities. Wakefield provides reasonable accommodations and/or language assistance free of charge upon request. If you are a person with a disability and require information or materials in an alternate format, or if you require any other accommodations, please contact the town's disability coordinator, William Renault, town engineer, at 781-246-6308. As far in advance of the event as possible, every effort will be made to grant your requests. Advance notification will enable the town to make reasonable arrangements to remove an accessibility barrier for you. 1. Continuous hearings. 2. 25-16, 25-17. Kevin J. Savoy and Joe Venethia Savoy, application for variance under Article 10, Section 190-66 from the requirements of Article 6 and Table 2 of the Wakefield zoning bylaw related to an addition to be construction onto an existing single-family dwelling. Application for determination and/or finding with respects to a continuation and extension of non-conforming uses under Article 9, Section 190-50A of the Wakefield zoning bylaw to construct in addition onto an existing single-family dwelling. The property is shown as map 22, lot parcel 10J1 of the assessors map and is located at 75 Forest Street. Board of Appeals.
Thank you, Joe. I usually share
You're
that on the screen. For whatever reason, I couldn't get that up there today. So anyway, so first on the agenda, is continued
Chairman?
hearings. Yeah,
Can I steal a second?
yeah.
So I've mentioned this to Tom, and just for Kristen, Katsumi, and Greg, I'm going to be recusing myself from new hearings, and I'm not going anywhere. I'll be here. I'll be participating. But Tom's going to then recycle those through you guys to be voting members, because I think you've all been here long enough, and it gives you a different perspective and a little bit more training as you become a voting member on these, the learning about the zoning laws and all of that. So it's kind of, it's what we've all done at different times. So just up front, for big cases and complicated cases, I'll stay on. But for new cases, additions, things like that, I'm going to recuse myself, and then Tom will rotate through who's going to be the voting member.
Awesome.
Great. Thank you for that, Chip. All right, on to continued hearings in the agenda. First one up is case 24-10, the residents at Nahant LLC. I have a letter from their attorney, Mr. Panos. The applicant, two things he's saying in the letter, which is a lot longer than it needs to be, so I'm going to shorten this up. Key things is he's extending to the applicant agrees to extend the time in which the ZBA must close its hearing on the above matter through December 31st, 2024. In regards to tonight, we need to schedule another subcommittee meeting, so he's not making any presentations or anything tonight. We do expect to hear from them on October 23rd at our October 23rd, 2024 meeting. So I'd be looking for a motion to accept the applicant's agreement to extend the 180-day timeline to December 31st, 2024. And that we would again expect to see this group on our October 23rd hearing.
So, Mr. Chair, I move that we continue this matter to our October 23rd, 2024 meeting and accept the applicant's request to extend the time for this board to hold the public hearing to December 31st, 2024.
Seconded.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Any comments, questions?
Tom, I would just add, just please remind Attorney Panos that we really need to see plans the Friday before.
Yep, that's why he's not presenting tonight.
Whatever the subcommittee might do between now and then is fine. I just a reminder, just so we can all be prepared. That's all. My only comment.
Yep.
Okay.
Chip, before we leave tonight, we got to find a night to meet. Let's just get this continued, and then under other matters, we'll
Sure.
compare schedules. So with that, any other comments or questions? Hearing, seeing none. Dave,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Chip,
Yes.
Mickey,
Yes.
I vote yes. Matters continued, and the 100 days is extended to December 31st. Next up is case 2420 at 32 Nahant Street. I have a letter from Attorney Haverty. The last meeting of the board, our client agreed to extend the closing of the public hearing until October 31st, 2024, in order to allow for a workshop meeting with board member Chip Tarbell to review potential changes to create additional open space on the site. After meeting with Mr. Tarbell, we are preparing plans to show how such additional open area can be created. Since those plans were not able to be submitted prior to the last Friday, my client requests that the meeting scheduled for tonight be continued until the board's October 23rd meeting.
Okay, but no extension.
No extension as of now.
Okay, so if something happens for the 23rd, we'd have to schedule something quick because we're extended to the 31st.
Yep.
Correct.
Okay, just being clear on that point. Okay.
That's why we got to the 31st though, in case something happens.
Yep,
So
yep. We
Yeah.
gave ourselves some wiggle room. Yep. All right, Mr. Chair, I move that we continue this matter to our October 23rd, 2024 meeting.
Seconded.
motion's been made, seconded. Any comment, questions? Hearing, seeing none. Dave,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Chip,
Yes.
Mickey?
Yes.
I vote yes too. Matters continued. All right, next up is the case at case 25-3, 25-4, 25-5, 33 West Water Street LLC. We have a letter from Attorney McGrail dated today to the board. Please continue this matter until your meeting on October 23rd, 2024, and that we appeared before the Wakefield Traffic Advisory Committee last Friday. And the board just received some correspondence from the Traffic Advisory Committee in that regard. Further, an opportunity to meet with the designated board member Tarbell regarding the project, and we anticipate that happening next week. Thank you for your consideration. So looking to just continue this until the 23rd.
Mr. Chair, I move that we continue this matter to our October 23rd, 2024 meeting.
Seconded.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any comments, questions? Hearing, seeing none. Dave,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Chip,
Yes.
Mickey?
Yes.
I vote yes, that matter is continued. We're on to new hearings. Cases 2516, 2517, 75 Forest Street. I think I see Mr. McGrail on the screen. This is your case, Mr. McGrail?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman,
Yep,
this would be the first one that I would recuse myself from.
yep. So we'll expect regular voting members in Kasumi.
May I proceed, Mr. Chair?
Yeah, please do.
Thank you. For the record, Attorney Brian McGrail representing Kevin Savoy and Joe Benalta. Savoy, owners of property at 75 Forest Street in Wakefield. They're seeking relief from your board to put an addition onto their single-family dwelling. The relief that they are seeking is a determination into a finding under section Article 9, Section 190-50 of the zoning bylaw, and a variance from the requirements of Article 6, Table 2 pursuant to Article 10, Section 190-66 of your bylaw. It's okay to share my screen, Mr. Chair?
Yeah, please do.
Thank you. So my clients are proposing in addition, as I mentioned, to this single-family house. This is certainly a unique shaped lot. You can see it jogs in. So the frontage is 80 feet on Forest Street, but there's a jog and then it jogs back out. So where the house is situated up front is kind of like a bottleneck for this lot. The reason is as you can see, the back is a labeled ledge, and I'll get into some detail on that. So it's very unique topography back there, very steep and pretty much undevelopable, especially for a single family dwelling and in addition to a single family dwelling. Looking at the existing circumstances at the property compared to what is being proposed, if you look at the zoning table, the minimum lot frontage in this district is 100 feet. There's an existing lot frontage of 80 feet. That was created pursuant to a variance, which was granted for this property back in 1958, I believe. And I submitted a copy of that variance with the application, so the board has that. But that was for the frontage. So that's one nonconformity, but it was cured by a variance. Another existing nonconformity is the lot shape. You can see the uniqueness of it. If you do the calculation, which I've done, it comes out to 0.63. In order not to be an odd shaped lot, it has to be greater than 0.65. So it's a nonconformity on lot shape. Also lot width, the lot width existing is 63.4. It meets, so that's another nonconformity that exists today. Minimum lot area required is 12,000. It's a very large lot at 38,619, so there is compliance with that. As far as building coverage is concerned, the required is 30%. Existing building coverage is 2%. Proposed is 4%, so it will meet it easily even after the addition. Minimum open area required is 40%. Existing is 93%. And the proposed open area, that's not correct, as you know, but it's certainly going to be well within range. Minimum dwelling separation, because this is close to the lot line, we wanted to show that we comply with the 20-foot distance from the neighboring house, which it clearly does, as you can see, 32.2 feet. It was currently 53 and it will be 32.2. There's another nonconformity that exists. It's the left-hand setback, which is 10.1. The required is 15. The right-hand setback, we're going to encroach. It easily meets that requirement of 15. And we're looking to go down to 3.2 on that side, just where the steps are. The house itself would be 4.6, but the steps encroach up to 3.2, as you can see. So the existing nonconformity is a lot shape. Lot frontage, which was fixed by a variance, the left yard setback, and as I mentioned, the lot width. Shifting to the architecturals.
So Brian, sorry, can you just clarify what, so those are all the existing nonconformities. What would be the variance request for?
The
Which of those?
variance request on this would be for the right setback, Mr. Hatfield, for 3.2, because that's a new,
Right.
new nonconformity,
Okay,
not an extension. And also to clean this up, I request a variance for the lot width, because back when they got the variance for frontage in 1958, they didn't say anything about lot width.
okay. Sometimes multiple things apply. I just wanted to be
Yeah,
clear on.
So the variance request on this would be the 3.2 setback on the right-hand side, and then the lot width is shown on the site plan.
Right, which is, I think the table said 63.4. It's 100 feet is required.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Um, Okay, so the architecturals. This is the existing with the addition. So as you can see, it's a one-story addition that's proposed. This kind of shows it on the site, which you've already seen the site plan. So these are the existing conditions. On the left-hand side is the front. In the middle is the back. Existing right elevation, which is where the addition will be connected.
If not, there's some up top, but I think there's some out there.
And this is just a demolition plan, which really isn't applicable. This shows the addition, which is going to be a living room, family room, living area for the family, the expanding family, right in this area. And this is the elevation. Really balances out the house. This is the front elevation, and then the rear, and then this is the side, down the bottom. And these are kind of 3D models, which are nice. So these are the existing up top and the proposed down below. And I mentioned, just going to share the screen one more time. I just wanted to show, I mentioned the topography at the middle, at the beginning of the presentation. So this is the house right here. And you can kind of see out back what we're dealing with topography back there. It's all ledge going up a steep incline. So there's really no room to do anything back there. So, and there's a lot of room on this side. So this is where, the uniqueness of the property fits in. My clients have had an opportunity to approach their neighbors at 71 Forest because they will be the ones that will be most affected by this. And I sent a copy of this letter into the chair and Gail earlier this evening, but this is a specific letter from these folks addressed to the chair. We own the property known as number 71 Forest Street, which directly abuts the property known as 75. This is before your board for approval of an addition. We've reviewed the plans and are writing in support of the application release sought for the addition, and we respectfully request that you vote to approve the same. Thank you. It was signed by Mr. Keith Below, who is one of the owners of the property. So my clients did meet with them before we decided to proceed with this. As far as, I touched on it with Mr. Hatfield. What we're looking for relief is, first is a determination and finding under 19050. As far as the existing nonconformities that I went over, the lot shape, the lot frontage, which had a variance, the left side yard setback, and the lot width. I do not think there's any intensifications of those existing nonconformities. And certainly if one was defined as such, I believe it would not be substantially more detrimental. And then the second form of relief, as you know, we're asking for that variance for the right side yard setback of 3.2 feet with the lot width. And as far as the standards of that, there's certainly unique circumstances for this lot. Almost textbook when you look at the shape of it. It doesn't meet our lot shape requirement. It's grandfathered, but that's really, right on point. And then that's coupled with the topography in the rear as a unique circumstance. As far as hardship, there would be a financial hardship to try to deal with that ledge in the back. And also you have a growing family here. And then as far as the third prong goes, I would respectfully suggest that this relief could be granted without any detriment to the public good or without nullifying or derogating from the intent or purpose of the bylaw, especially considering the fact that the neighbors that would be affected are in support of the request. So with that said, Mr. Chair, I'm happy to answer any questions that the board may have.
Okay, before I get to board members, I'm just gonna have some correspondence from town departments. We've got a memo from the DPW division. Uh, There are no applicable comments from DPW engineering at this time. Got a memo from the Wakefield Conservation Commission as well. Proposed work is not within the commission, on a site that's within the commission's jurisdiction pursuant to the Wetlands Protection Act. However, the commission recommends that the applicant adhere to good housekeeping practices during the execution of this project, including but not limited to sedimentation control along the down gradient side of the site, dust control, pavement sweeping to minimize cracking, and protection of drainage inlet structures or catch basins if they are nearby. So that's the extent of what we've heard from town departments. To the questions, comments from the board.
Mr. Chair, I'll go first. Again, the request seems reasonable, again, given the circumstances of their lot. And the plans seem modest, for modest addition. So and I think the hardship criteria, could be satisfied in this case. One question, Brian, again, on the zoning table, just to be clear. I don't know if you can bring it up.
Yep.
I don't know if it's just a typo or just want to make sure we're clear on one thing. I asked for clarification before, but I missed one thing.
Yes, sir. Okay.
So the open area, it says proposed and
Yeah, that's
existing is
wrong.
93%. I'm sorry, did you clarify? Because with the addition,
Yeah.
it's not going to have the same open space, right?
Yeah, that's right. But the requirement's 40%. It's not even going to be close. I mean,
Agreed. Okay.
so
It'll be above the 40, certainly.
just
Yeah,
made
yeah.
a typo on that, but I would respectfully say that, we easily meet that requirement.
Right. Okay. All right. Other than that, Mr. Chair, I'm fine with it. Again, the finding is pretty straightforward. For nonconformity, those existing nonconformities make sense, and it is what it is. And as I said, the variance, I think, makes sense in this case, given the topography and of the lot and the shape. So I'm good.
No, Dave, I agree. And the fact that the neighbors has signed off where the encroachment's taking place, I think makes a big difference. Anybody else?
I have no issues.
Yeah, talking to the neighbors is not a prong in the bylaw, but always a good idea. So
Yeah.
glad they did it.
It should be added.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes that stuff gets aired in this meeting. Like, I didn't know this was even happening. And it's like, whoops. Okay. So it's good that they did that. It's good to hear.
All right, so seeing no other board members that want to comment at this time, I'm going to open it up to the public. If there's a member of the public that is here that would like to testify regarding this application, please use the raised hand function in Zoom. Not a big crowd, so I'm not seeing it. Going once, going twice. Okay, going back to the board for the pleasure of the board.
So, Mr. McGrail, just to make sure I got the plans right, the site plan is
Yeah, good point.
Hawthorne Land Surveying 8/11/2024.
It's 8/11 revised 10/9. I had sent the copy to the chair. He corrected one little setback issue on it today. So
Oh,
and
okay.
the board has that now. So thank you for mentioning that, Mr. Hatfield, also. So the date is 8/11/24, revised date 10/9/24.
Okay. And the other ones, the architecturals are Flow Design Architects, July 17th, 2023.
Check
The
that.
date's really small, but that's what I'm making out.
June 19th, 2023.
Okay, it looks like the cover sheet maybe is a different date, but
Let me see, hold on, I'll check it.
looks like 7/17, but just want to get the date right. Flow Design.
7/17 on the cover sheet, other sheets are dated 6/19. Yep.
So 6/19.
With the cover sheet dated, I'll reference that in the decision. Cover sheet dated, as you had mentioned, 7/17/23. In other sheets dated 6/19/23.
Okay. All right, Mr. Chair, I move that we grant a finding and determination pursuant to section 190/50A of the bylaw that the proposed changes and alterations at 75 Forest Street based on the plans, the site plan from Hawthorne Land Surveying Services Incorporated dated August 11th, 2024, and revised October 9th, 2024, and the architectural drawings from Flow Design Architects dated 6/19/23 with a cover page of 7/17/23. Shall not increase the existing non-conforming nature of the structure on the lot. But we also find that if one were to find that there is any increase in the existing non-conforming nature of the lot, that the changes and alterations shall not be substantially more detrimental than the existing nonconformities to the neighborhood.
Seconded.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion from the board? Hearing, seeing none. Dave,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Mickey. Mickey, you're muted, but I think I've read your lips to say yes. Okay.
Yes,
Kasumi?
yes.
Kasumi?
Yes.
I vote yes too. That's unanimous.
Brian, I don't know if I'm not sure it'll be covered in the decision, but I didn't state the existing nonconformities, but you did state them during the testimony. So
We did. Yep,
the frontage, the shape,
yep. It's
the
on the
width, and
record.
the setback. So they're part of that, and they'll be part of the decision.
Yes.
Okay, so, Mr. Chair, I move that we grant a variance pursuant to section 190-66 of the bylaw for the application 75 Forest Street based on the same plans as the previous motion. With respect to Article 6 and Table 2 of the bylaw related to the side setback, which is required to be 15 feet and will be 3.2 feet as noted on the plan, and a lot width of 63.4 feet versus the 100 feet required. Owing to circumstances related to the shape and topography of the land and structures on the lot, that a literal enforcement of the provisions of this chapter would involve substantial hardship, financial or otherwise, to the petitioner, and that desirable relief may be granted without substantial detriment to the public good or without nullifying or substantially derogating from the intent or purpose of this chapter.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded.
The chair, if I can just ask, just for clarification, my Zoom went out. Did Mr. Hatfield, did you say the setback of 3.2?
I did.
Thank you. I just didn't hear it. Appreciate it.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Any comments, questions on the motion? Hearing, seeing none. Dave,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Mickey,
Yes,
Kasumi,
Yes.
and I vote yes. That too is unanimous. All set with that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Moving on, other matters. I talked to Mr. McGrail today. CCNF was going to give a project update. They might have to make a minor mod on signs and some minor stuff. So rather than bring them in 2 nights, they're just going to try to get everything in for the meeting on the 23rd. So we're not going to take up that project update tonight under other matters. And with that, we could set a record here by going to clerk and board comments.
I got nothing.
Okay. Chip, we need to find a day and we need to put it out far enough because Gail's we need 72 hours for advertising for that subcommittee meeting for the 119 Nahant Street. Remembering that Monday's a holiday.
And we can't do it on a holiday if I remember right.
Yeah, I don't want to do it on the holiday.
No. And I can do Tuesday or Wednesday, but not Thursday.
All right, why don't we go Wednesday? And that'll give Gail time to advertise it. So Gail, why don't we shoot for 7 o'clock next Wednesday?
Okay, sounds good.
Does that work for you, 7, Chip?
Sure.
If you want to do it earlier, I can do it earlier too. I know you got
Yeah,
a tough.
look how well I do at 7 now.
Yeah. All right. Any other comments, board members, questions? To Chip's comment earlier, we are gonna try to do a better job of starting to rotate the alternate members through on some votes and so forth. And So we'll work on that, going forward. And with that, I don't want to extend if we can get out of here right at 7:30, but, I'm happy to hear from anybody.
Tom, Gail, we have the dates set in stone for November, December? That's all figured out?
Yeah,
meeting day?
by now we do because of advertising.
Okay, so it's in,
December,
books.
December, there may be time to change Decembers, but
I don't need to change it. I was just wondering if it was all set. Don't remember what
yeah, I
dates it
make them
were.
tentative based on the previous year, but we have to discuss it like a couple months before then, because of the advertising deadlines.
No, so we already did that, right? Is that done? Or should we do it now? Is what I'm saying, I guess, because that's next
Yeah.
month, right?
Right, so November has to be set in stone because the filing date, I think, is Tuesday for the November one. So that's already posted.
Alright,
But
so what's-
December we can
What
move.
is that date?
What is that, the 13th?
I know I don't have it in for my.
That's what I had on my calendar for now, but I will tell you, I will be out of the country that week, so, there's a
Like,
chance to move it the week later. I just don't know where the Nahan projects are gonna be at that point, and I know they're extended to the end of the year, so we may not be done with them, but I just,
The next week is Thanksgiving Eve, so I thought we're gonna do it then. Unless you want
no,
to.
the 20th isn't, right? The 28th is Thanksgiving, so it could be the 20th if,
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
yeah,
you're right. It's late this year. Okay.
yeah. I'm just saying, Mr. Chair and Gail, if we could move it to the 20th, I don't know if that works for others.
The
any
November
better.
meeting? you
Yes.
no,
mean?
she already said
Yeah.
the November is set.
Yeah, well, it's, the deadline is this Tuesday, next Tuesday, so, I
I
suppose
said we
I
take
could
our
put a new
chances
schedule up.
take our chances and keep our fingers crossed.
Okay, well, it's just something's critical, then I'd either recuse myself or we'd have to continue a matter if you need my vote, Mr. Chair, that's all.
Yep.
But December, I have the 11th in the calendar. I think that's what we tentatively set it at,
Yeah, and it's not too late to change that one.
which would be if the 13th, that's 4 weeks after the November one. And then that's 4 weeks till the January one. So that was kind of in the middle. And I think that's part of the reason we choose that date. So that we don't go too far before and after, right? Or have too much of a gap before and after.
All right, no, that works for me. Really.
I'm good on those.
All right.
Do you want to see if I can move November to the 20th? Because then they'd have to advertise, have to have them, let's see. Yeah, it would be just a week or later that they'd have to clock it in. It has to be 30 days.
All right, Gail, why don't we look at this in the morning? I'll give you-
All right, we'll look at it in the morning.
I mean, if it gives applicants more time to apply because we're pushing it out a week, we're not pulling it in. So
Yeah,
if it gives
Right.
folks an opportunity to get something into the office, and it's doable, that'd be fine. I'll be here definitely the week after. If not,
Okay.
then we'll just deal with it. And we've got coverage. We got alternates and folks will cover, but I just,
yeah,
That's
we'll
all.
look at, Tom and I will look at it.
all
I
right.
just don't want to, I generally agree with what you're saying, Dave. I just don't want to do it on the fly here without looking at every.
No, understood. That's fine. If Gail can look at it in the morning, we just confirm.
Right.
We
Mhm.
put it out there.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, anything else?
Did you,
Then,
Mr. Chair, I would
look
like to make a
at the
motion that we
minutes?
approve some meeting minutes.
Yep,
did anybody look at the minutes of 9/5, the special one? Special meeting,
Yes.
the changes?
No,
You know,
pretty
Gail-
good.
all right,
thought-
yeah,
I thought it captured everything.
I didn't get to it, Gail. I'd like to hold off
Okay.
again.
All
Sorry.
right, no problem.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no
Okay.
problem.
All
All
right.
right,
So, Mr.
So
Chair, I
we'll
will
go-
move that we approve the meeting minutes of our September 25th, 2024 meeting.
Second.
okay, all we need is a voice vote here. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Anybody against? No, thank you, Gail. And with that,
Mr. Chair,
motion,
I make a motion to adjourn, sir.
absolutely. Voice vote here too. All those in favor? Aye.
I,
Aye.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.